so for closing arguments, we have with Benvolio would like to say that Romeo does deserve to die, and we apologize for misspeaking earlier when we said that everybody deserves a second chance. We really meant to say that for minor crimes, second chances are deserved. For much more major crimes, such as the vigilantism that Romeo committed, and murder, which was committed along with the vigilantism, that the prince's explicit decree, while I do not agree with it, states that he needs to die, and the prince's word is law. We would also like to point out the fact that the union between the two houses was not approved of by the ruling member of either family, which means that that Friar went over the heads of time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Media, get organized. Tell me when you're ready.
Make sure everyone stays loud. Oh.
Shift that way, scoot down. What are you gonna do? Shift that way, scoot down.
Maybe closer to the mic.
There we go.
I like how he admitted he was
Everyone, ready? Okay. 1 minute, and go ahead, start.
I'd like to point out that Benvolio consistently contradicts himself. He says one thing and then says that he means something else. And a contradiction equals confusion. And do we really want a confused leader? He keeps saying one thing, such as everyone deserves a second chance, but then changing his mind and saying that Romeo did not deserve a second chance, he should die. Everything he has said so far ends up contradicting himself. He stands for peace, but then he gets in brawls with everyone else. He says that the death of a member of each of the families will bring them closer together. I don't believe this would happen. They would just hate each other even more. After the death of one of each of their members, they would want revenge, and then it would just start more fighting. With Romeo's death, it would just upset the Montagues more, and they would try to seek revenge on the Capulets.
Okay, so
Same thing.
everyone ready? Okay, 1 minute, go ahead.
Okay, one thing I've noticed about my fellow candidates is that they are very inconsistent and they don't keep their word. For example, the prince said that he would kill Romeo and anyone else who was involved in a street brawl at the beginning of the story. And then later in the story, whenever a fight broke out in the streets again and Tybalt and Mercutio were killed, he just banished Romeo. And then another example would be Benvolio actually tried to shoo Romeo away before he could be killed by the prince after he was fighting in the streets. And now he's saying that Romeo deserves to die. What made you change your mind? And yeah. And so yeah, that's it.
Look,
Ready? In 1 minute, go ahead.
So I realized that I keep changing my mind about the death of Romeo and the banishment between the two. And I realized I was wrong. We shouldn't kill anyone. I think we should have left it as an eye for an eye. We should end the killing at Tybalt. We don't, the circumstances change. So, and I was wrong about the killing. Mercutio was my blood, so I decided to not kill Romeo and just banish him.